Hello, I am Solaj Alfred. Welcome to the Hts Epoll. It's your opportunity to weigh in on the most pressing issues of the day. The Epoll is brought to you by the Labrie Cooperative Credit Union.
We're here for beginnings, endings, and everything in between. For the startups, the slow starts, for the early risers, and the end of day finishers. For the career jugglers, high flyers, and for everyone who's ever had a goal or chased a goal. It's why we're here. Here to help you plan, track, and execute your goals so you can own a better tomorrow. Labrie Cooperative Credit Union. One member and one goal at a time. Call us today. Telephone 459-6900. Labrie Cooperative Credit Union. We are not a bank. We are better.
Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre, following a recent on-site visit by his cabinet to the under-construction St. Jude Hospital, says the project is years away from completion. Pierre said he was saddened and disappointed by what he witnessed. This contrasts with the assessment of the previous government's assertion that the hospital was months away from completion. So, we ask, are you surprised by the Philip J. Pierre's administration's initial assessment of the St. Jude Hospital project? We tallied the numbers on our voting platforms, and here is how you voted. 77% said no, and 23% said yes. We also took to the streets to get your opinion, and here's what you had to say.
No, I'm not surprised. I believe Alan Chastity just trying to play with people's minds. He was trying to play with people's minds all the time. But Alan Chastity was just trying to help his friends, his family, and the foreigners.
I mean, I did not need Philip to tell me the condition of St. Jude's. We all could have seen. I mean, I've been in construction for the longest while, and I know there's no way St. Jude's could have been ready. But I just want to add a little something, Desmond. Healthcare is not dependent on the quality of a building and its structure. It's more about equipment, service, and other matters, you know. So I just believe that if there's a difficulty as it relates to completing St. Jude's, that should not compromise our healthcare. The stadium already exists, and we need to implement and install the necessary equipment so that the nurses can provide the service that is needed to be given to the people.
Are you not surprised by it?
Absolutely not surprised. We all knew, and I don't even believe. I mean, the blind man, even with our masks, we knew St. Jude's building was far from being ready. There was no need to destroy the two existing buildings that were there. So it was just a gimmick going on to fool the people.
Not quite. I always had my suspicion about that. I always knew something was wrong about that whole St. Jude's fiasco, and they were not being truthful to us, because when Philip J. Pierre was in opposition, they asked to visit the site and they were not allowed, so you could see that the former administration, they were hiding something from us.
I'm not surprised about that at all, because I was keeping close tabs on what is transpiring at the hospital all the time. And I've got my ex-students working there, and they keep on telling me that this place is about 3 years before it is completed. You know, and secondly, why did they not allow the opposition to take a tour of the hospital while they were in power? It is because they did not want the opposition to see the nonsense that was transpiring there at that time. You understand? So I'm not surprised at all.
No, I'm not surprised what Philip J. Pierre said, but when Philip J. Pierre wanted to visit the hospital, the government wasn't letting him to go inside of the hospital because they had something they was hiding, and now that the government see it. Because St. Jude will not finish as quick as yet, but it's taking a lot of money to build St. Jude, and St. Jude will take a few years for it to finish. So the people have to be patient. The government will work on St. Jude first.
And I am not surprised about what's to come with this past government, with the mess that these guys have made there, with the corruption. I know there's a lot more to come, but I just want the Labour Party to be clear as to how they go forward, and not that, and for people not to believe that they are just trying to deceive us. I want them to be honest and transparent as possible. But this past government, these guys, some of them ministers, really need to go to jail, and I hope that happens.
Thanks for those responses. Now to our new discussion. St. Lucia is facing a fourth wave of COVID-19, recording its highest numbers of daily cases since the onset of the pandemic. The public transportation sector has been particularly hard hit. Prime Minister Philip J. Pierre says his administration will not go down the mandatory route to get members of the public vaccinated. However, some countries like the United States are tightening measures to get public sector workers to be vaccinated. So, we ask, should the government impose vaccine mandates for frontline workers? Voting is easy. Just log on to htssenusha.org or Facebook at HTS Senusha Official and vote. Remember, our Epoll team is always on the go to get your responses as well. Watch the HTS News Force from 7 p.m. for the results and a new discussion.